Here's what happened on this week's Friday Night Smackdown. We are live from Omaha, Nebraska, and the show opens with our undisputed WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. Last week, he got beat up by the Bloodline and Randy got beat up in front of him and Cody was forced to watch. He gets into the ring with a microphone, and the crowd is on his side and they're chanting Cody, Cody, loudly. Cody starts by saying that he's here to talk about Randy Orton. Cody says that Randy is a dear old friend, and not only that, Randy regarded Cody the highest even when everyone told him to disregard Cody. Cody also says that if it wasn't for Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes wouldn't be a champion today. Then Cody goes on to say that imagine the guilt I have felt since last week, watching this new bloodline put a legend like Randy Orton through a table. Cody goes on to say that Randy is my family, Randy is my brother. Then Cody says that now he wants to look directly into the camera and talk to the man responsible for hurting Randy last week, Solo Sikoa. Cody says that he looked Solo in the eyes before WrestleMania 39 and he told Solo that he wasn't ready. Cody says that Solo costed him this title at WrestleMania 39 and Solo is now doing everything to erase his past and make people forget that he was the enforcer of the bloodline so that people think of him as the tribal chief, but it ain't going to happen, and Cody is not deterred by Solo's actions because he is still standing here and he is still the undisputed champion. The music hits, and it is A-Town Down Under. Austin starts by saying that you're talking an awful lot about the bloodline, but let's talk about this. Because of you, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu attacked me last week. Austin says that my cheek is swollen after last week's attack. Cody says, oh well, I thought that your face was swollen because your own partner needs you in the face last week. Grayson says that you're trying to steer us away from the truth because you cannot take accountability for your actions. He says that my friend Austin got hurt because of you, Cody, and Randy Orton is not here tonight because of you and your actions, Cody Rhodes. They get into the ring and before Austin can say anything, Cody starts attacking them. He goes after them both but is eventually outnumbered and is getting beaten now. They throw Cody out of the ring after beating him some. This dude, who's a boxer or something, gives a steel chair to Cody Rhodes. Okay then. Cody goes back into the ring and takes out Grayson Waller with a steel chair. Then he hands the chair to Austin and delivers a disaster kick to Theory. They both retreat and get out of the ring while Cody stands tall. End of segment. Next up, we have Carmelo Hayes and he is getting his pubic hair cut by a sex offender. Carmelo looks into the camera and addresses Andrade. He says that the world is going to be watching their match tonight and they will be waiting to see that who is going to miss first. And Carmelo says that it won't be him who misses. End of segment, if you can even call it a segment. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes walking in the backstage area and he runs into Nick Aldis. He says to Nick that he needs a match with those A-Town Down Under tonight. Nick says for the match to happen, you need a partner, Cody. Cody says that he doesn't need a partner, as a matter of fact, he needs to do it on his own to send a message to the bloodline. Nick refuses and says that Cody is a valuable asset for this company and if he sent him outside for a handicap match, if any injury were to happen, Nick would have to answer to the board of directors. He gives Cody till the end of the night to find a partner. End of segment. Next up, Carmelo makes his entrance for his match against Andrade. Andrade also makes his entrance and the match gets underway. In the end, Carmelo goes up top for nothing but net and he misses. Andrade catches him and delivers his finisher in 1-2-3, Andrade wins it. End of match. Next up, we have a conversation between Nia Jax and Bayley. Graves starts by talking to Nia Jax and he asks her a question. Nia interrupts him and says that she does not even want to talk to or hear Corey Graves. Nia says to just take a look at herself and then Bayley. She says by just comparing the physical superiority, Nia feels sorry for weak and little Bayley. Nia says that at SummerSlam, she is going to beat Bayley and she's also going to put her down for good. Bayley says to Nia that she has not changed a bit and Nia replies by saying that she has changed. She is now Queen of the Ring and she demands that Bayley call her Queen Nia, instead of just Nia. Bayley says that she's going to address Nia any way she likes. She calls Nia big-mouthed and heartless and she says that Nia injured her in 2017 before her match at SummerSlam and now Bayley is going to finish what Nia started. She says that Nia did not hurt her because she is ruthless and vicious, she hurt her because she is big, clumsy and just borderline reckless. Nia says that she is not just a queen of the ring, she is a queen of the entire women's division and having the title would just solidify her position and emphasize her superiority. Bayley says that Nia may have changed but Bayley herself has also changed and she's a different person now. She says she is walking into the SummerSlam as champion and she's going to walk out a champion and there's nothing Nia can do about it. After hearing this, Nia takes off her mic and she storms out. End of segment. Next up, we are shown what happened earlier today between Bianca and Jade and Chelsea and Piper. Bianca and Jade are on their way to talk to Nick Aldis and Chelsea intercepts them and says that they cannot go inside because Chelsea is going inside to talk to Nick. Bianca says girl we are going to talk to Nick girl because we want our tag titles rematch girl. Chelsea calls them a loser and says that you're just going inside to moan and complain. Chelsea tells them to go away. Bianca says girl let's have a match girl so I can shut you up girl let's go girl. They agree on a match. End of segment. Next up, Bianca makes her entrance for her match against Chelsea Green. Chelsea also makes her entrance and the match gets underway. Folks, I'm not kidding when I'm saying this match lasted 56 seconds on the dot. In the end, Bianca rolled up Chelsea for a victory. The disrespect to Chelsea Green who has been far more entertaining and far more interesting than Bianca in the past few months. Chelsea is furious. Bianca celebrates and that is the end of this match. Then, the tag champs show up on the Tron and they say that they heard that Bianca and Jade were looking for them. They say that it is understandable because they are indeed champions. They say that as far as a rematch goes, they will see what happens and they laugh and this segment is over. Horrible, boring, and tedious writing. Moving on. Next up, Nick Aldis is in the ring with a contract in his hand. He says that it is for the United States Championship and it has been signed by Nick and the challenger, LA Knight. He invites LA Knight to the ring, and the megastar is here. Nick then invites the United States Champion, and Logan Paul is also here. He gets into the ring and Nick is showing him where to sign. Logan reads the contract and then closes it and then says that he wants to ask Omaha a question. Logan asks the crowd that why would he give this hillbilly Aladdin looking, Sons of Anarchy extra looking, Larry the Lobster looking guy a shot at his US title? LA Knight also grabs the microphone now for a rebuttal. Knight calls Logan an edgelord and then says that the reason LA Knight deserves this title shot is because every time him and Logan Paul have been in the ring together, Knight has always cooked and owned Logan Paul. He says that 1 year ago, he walked here with a map and directions for Logan Paul so that he knows exactly where to shove all his prime bottles. LA Knight says that Logan is a champion now and Knight cannot take this accomplishment away from him. He says that he is now asking for a title shot but Logan Paul is refusing to give it to him. LA Knight again reminds him that in their Money in the Bank qualifying match, Knight pinned Logan Paul in this ring. LA says that pinning Logan felt good but now he wants that title that is on Logan's shoulder. Logan Paul calls LA Knight Sean, his real name, and he says that you say you want this title but the truth is that you need this title. But Logan Paul does not need this match. He says that he and Logan Paul are not the same. He says that this wrestling ring is all that LA Knight has. But Logan Paul has accomplished so much more than him including building a billion-dollar business and having the name Paul echo everywhere. Logan Paul says that his problem with LA Knight is that he wants to beat Logan Paul but he has not done anything to be considered in the same bracket as Logan Paul. He says to LA that he is defined by everything he does in this ring, and yet, he has not had a single career-defining moment in the past 20 years. Logan Paul says that LA Knight is just a wannabe Rock. He basically calls LA Knight a fraud. Knight then says that if one is talking about frauds, let's talk about Logan Paul. Because your reign as US champion has been nothing but fraudulent. LA Knight says that Logan Paul, simply put, just does not have the balls to jump into the ring with him. After hearing this, Logan is pissed and says that he will give LA Knight a shot at glory and he signs the contract. After signing it, he says that he would make it a high-stakes match for both parties but LA Knight has nothing valuable to give to Logan Paul. So instead, Logan says he is going to draw a map with clear directions on the back of the contract, that will tell LA Knight exactly where to shove his dreams of becoming a champion in WWE. It gets heated between them and Nick Aldis tries to calm everyone down. Logan Paul leaves the ring and when LA Knight has his back turned, he slithers back into the ring and attacks LA Knight. LA retaliates and almost hits Logan Paul with a BFT. He escapes and gets out of the ring. End of segment. Next up, a video package is shown hyping Tiffany Stratton and her victory at Money in the Bank where she won the women's Money in the Bank match. After the video ends, Tiffany Stratton makes her entrance along with Nia Jax. She has a match with Michin. This match is up next but before it gets underway, LA Knight is seen walking in the backstage area and he is interrupted by some guy named Santos and sexy mamacita Elektra Lopez. Santos congratulates LA Knight for getting a shot at US Championship. He says that LA Knight pinned Logan Paul for his spot in Money in the Bank match, but no one pinned Santos, so basically, Santos is still unbeaten by Logan Paul and LA Knight. LA Knight replies by saying that no worries, Summerslam is a few weeks away until then he has some free time so if Santos wants to get in touch with him for a match, Santos can go ask her mom for LA Knight's number. Santos says that facing him so close to a championship match is not a smart play by LA Knight. but he accepts and vows to make LA Knight pay. He leaves. End of segment. Now back to the ring. Michin also makes her entrance and the match now gets underway. Tiffany is running from Michin and then she hides behind Nia Jax. Michin gets distracted and starts talking to Nia when Tiffany attacks her out of nowhere. Who would have seen that coming? This has never happened before in the WWE. Then in the end, Tiffany is going for the prettiest moonsault when she sees Bayley coming. Nia Jax goes after Bayley but Bayley sidesteps her and pushes her into the barricade. Bayley then grabs the Money in the Bank briefcase and hits Nia in the face with it. Tiffany is still focusing on all this, rather than her opponent. Bayley then destroys the Money in the Bank briefcase by first hitting it on the edge of the announcer's table, then by hitting it on the steel steps, and then by opening it up, putting it on the floor, and stopping it with her foot. Tiffany is irate and completely distracted when Michin rolls her up in 1-2-3, Michin wins the match. After the match, Bayley grabs the banged-up briefcase and slides it to Tiffany. Sexy Tiffany has just lost to Michin, folks. We are truly living in an unpredictable era. End of match. Next up, the Bloodline is here. Solo starts by saying that life is so good on the island of relevancy when one is tribal chief. Solo says the life is also very busy, but when he does have a moment to think, he thinks about a mystery. Not the mystery of who's going to be Cody Rhodes' partner tonight, but the mystery of who's going to decide to disrespect and step up to the Bloodline by teaming with Cody Rhodes. Cody reminds the prospective challenger what he did to Randy Orton last week. He says that whoever is on Cody's good side, is automatically on the tribal chief's bad side. He says that if tonight's main event is in a handicap match, Cody's partner is going to pay the price and he will acknowledge Solo and the Bloodline. End of segment. Next up, Cody Rhodes is walking in the backstage area when Kevin Owens shows up. He asks Cody, "Are you ready?" Cody nods in agreement and Kevin walks through the backstage area to make his entrance. Cody Rhodes also makes his entrance. Then A-Town Down Under make their entrance and the match gets underway. In the end, Kevin Owens hits Grayson Waller with a stunner and he goes out of the ring. Cody Rhodes hits Austin Theory with Crossroads in 1-2-3, the team of Kevin and Cody win the match. They're celebrating and the music hits, and it is the Bloodline. They walk slowly to the ring and when they are standing by it, Cody hits them with a suicide dive. In the ring, the Botchmaster Tonga Loa is fighting Kevin Owens and Kevin goes for the eyes of Tonga. Outside the ring, Cody is beating up Solo and now Kevin Owens joins him. Kevin starts clearing the announcer's table. They're about to put Solo through the table when they are stopped by the unstoppable Jacob Fatu. He saves Solo and sends Cody into the steel steps. Kevin now starts fighting back but Jacob Fatu superkicks him. Jacob takes Kevin into the ring and hits him with a Rikishi butt wipe. He then grabs Kevin by the throat and asks him how dare he disrespect his tribal chief. Outside, the Bloodline has a hold of Cody Rhodes and they making him watch this beatdown, just like last week. He hits him with a butt wipe again. And again. And again. Jacob then gets Kevin into the position and goes up top to deliver a flying headbutt. Then Jacob turns his attention to Cody Rhodes. The Bloodline pick Cody up and put him on their tribal chief's shoulders. He drives Rhodes through the table with a definitive throw. Kevin crawls out of the ring and tries to fight back. Then the Bloodline puts a steel chair around Kevin's neck and they drive him into the ringside post. Poor Kevin, man. Jacob then grabs the Ulafala and adorns Solo with it. They all stand tall over a fallen Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. The show ends with this shot right here. What did you think of tonight's show? Personally, some segments were good but some were hit and miss, especially the promo between Logan and LA Knight. Comment down below what you thought, and I'll see you in the next recap. Toodles.